Welcome to Chan Wei Mek, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now today's video, I would like to focus on more on the study abroad. Now over the past month, there has been a spread of information. First, it came from the UK, where they're going to cut half of their migration quota, and then obviously Australia as well. So we have already experienced that for the last half year. So since July, they talked about expansion, 190,000 quota. But there was only one invitation so far, and last week we only got the New South Wales subclass 491 opened up, after about 6 months. So it's a phenomenon in a post-pandemic world where all the increase of the interest rates, inflation, and housing crisis. Looks like housing crisis is also happening in Canada, where last week the Prime Minister of Canada also announced the cut of restricted quota for international students as well. So it's not just the one of the Australian thing anymore. It seems to be a world phenomenon. So anyway, we gotta cope with that. Now, obviously, migration will still be the major topic of what everybody seeks for in the post-pandemic, and obviously continue to go on for the future. Now, how a lot of people will have questioned this in 2024, how and what sort of course will be the easiest, the cheapest way that you can achieve, perhaps in Australia, and then obviously moving on to skill migration. It's the million-dollar question. Now, there is no straight answer, but I would like to demonstrate on how the skill migration system actually performs and works, so that you have that idea what you're going to choose. So this is not a straightforward what sort of subject or major that you can pick that perhaps you can actually get visa, migrate with that kind of skills. Now, word of mouth, and also it's a very simplistic and generic information, is that obviously the best way to migrate with skill migration is to pick the hardest thing to study. And that will be the easiest questions and for the answer to it, because everybody asking for it, and everybody picked the cheapest, the easiest. Now, the cheapest and easiest also equates to the general public's choices as well. That means there will be a lot of competition. Everybody can pick it, everybody can study it, and everybody can complete the courses. That means you are competing with everybody. Now, remember, whichever country that you pick for skill migration, it's a system that filters and pick and chooses the best that they can for that particular country. That's not a mystery anymore. So then, obviously, you want to perform the best that you can in whatever area that you're talented with. Okay, so do not just pick the cheapest and easiest courses to actually achieve it. Now, we can see that what's happening with the Australian system, with the Department of Education and cooperated with the Department of Immigration and Home Affairs, where they're going to cut a lot of these private institutions where they promote and provide cheapest course. They can pay a lot of time by installments, and then it's very easy to complete it. So obviously a lot of pick those kind of courses. Then what happened? Guess what? There's too many people picking the same major and the same skills and same occupation. you end up with what? You end up with unlimited wait time, and you don't even know when and where you're gonna get your migration application through or approved. So again, I want to stress this. A lot of people has asking the million dollar question, where what is the cheapest and easiest way to migrate through study abroad? Now, the answer is pick the hardest courses that you can and try to perform the best that you can. A lot of people may react, what? Then that will be perhaps not the cheapest and not the easiest. And the answer is yes, of course. Because if you study, for example, architects, okay, medical, health, okay, and legal, law, those obviously are probably numbers of the hardest courses that you may pick. But again, if you can complete those courses, the ratio and the chances that you get migration, you can migrate is much higher, because the competition is much lower, the competitiveness is much lower, and compared to somebody picking up motor mechanic, cookery course, what they call kitchen management now, or perhaps other business courses where everybody's picking it, or some very generic ICT courses, then obviously you are putting yourself in a pool where there's a huge number of people wanted to compete with you, because they are the very generic courses that you can actually choose. So how can you pick it? Let's have a look at the I would like the viewers to have a look at this. This is the point test table. Now, obviously, they gotta do some adjustments in the coming future, perhaps, hopefully in this year, 2024. But I wanted to tell you more about the employment parts. Now, you really need to think about your future first. Whatever that you pick, whatever the profession that or the trade that you wanted to become, it's best that you pick the one that you're interested with and one that you perform the best with. Now, how do you find that out? Well, obviously, that's another whole type of category of conversation. But find out what you're best at. Find out what your interest is located the best. So you study that. It's your interest that built on upon your career. You will have a better career profiles. And obviously, you perform better in your employment. And if you perform better with your employment, then you have better chance to get a better job and stay with the job for a longer time. Obviously, the longer that you accrue your skill experiences, the more points that you get. It will be the same. It will be similar way to be calculated for the upcoming updated point test system there. And now the other thing is, but November last year, 3rd of November, Australian government has also expanded its pathway to temporary skill sponsored worker. Now, how would that actually work for you? Because I wanted to share with you is that it's migration is not just through independent skill migration, either invited by subclass 189 or invited by the state or territory, but it can actually be going through a skill employment sponsored visa as well. So we look forward for the new skills in demand visa, where it's going to open up more opportunity. And how would that actually deliver for migration purpose? It will be through the employment. And we have seen that on the 3rd of November, where they have expanded more opportunity for people, for skilled workers to actually migrate through employment as well. So it comes back to what you wanted to pick and choose for your study abroad major or courses or program you want to choose. It's better something that you really likes, that is of your interest, hobby, whatever that is, and that you can perform the best, so that you can build a better career profile or portfolio for your life. It's a life learning process. Not just listen to whoever the agent or education consultant and tell you that this is the cheapest course and this is the easiest way to complete it within 2 years, and you can actually get more work right and things like that. Yes, those elements are correct, but obviously the cheapest and easiest can be picked and chose by anyone else as well. So why would you want to compete? And obviously, even without the topic of migration, why would you jump into a job or profession that you know that there will be a lot of people competing against you? You know, it's not good for your career profile anyway. So I would like to answer again, back to the straight answer for the question that what is the cheapest and easiest courses to study in order to skill migrate? Well, my answer is pick the hardest and perform the best. Anyway, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below. Let's see you next video. Goodbye.